In a yard where children were playing games one day, a little child on crutches was watching wishfully. It seemed so hard she could not play as other children do. They said that she would spoil their game as other children do.
In 1953, at the age of 16, Ann Mills was sent to live at the Arizona Children's Colony. She was diagnosed with epilepsy and a slight case of polio. That's what you did back then when your child had a disability. You put them in an institution. In the 50s, there were no parental support groups, no nonprofit care providers, no acts of Congress granting people with disabilities civil rights. Even families who were financially able to care for their children were encouraged to send them away. Today, we will hear of this woman's journey, how she found life, hope, and friendship after being institutionalized so many years ago.
How come I came to live here? Because at the time I had no home. My parents put me in the state hospital to get medicine. Went off and left me. I got the medicine, yes. Then from there I came here, and I was left alone. So that showed they didn't want me. But then I found out later from a real aunt that my mother was sick and didn't have enough money to buy medicine for 2 people. So now I have a lot more understanding about it.
The Arizona Children's Colony still exists, but is a very different place today. Renamed the Arizona Training Program at Coolidge in the 1970s, the now modernized facility has worked very hard to make it a place where the members have the comforts of a traditional home while still providing for their highly specialized needs. Some of the residents brought to the Children's Colony remain there today. For them, it is the only home they've ever known.
They said when you hit 21 years old, you would get out of here. That wasn't so. They kept you here.
When you came out of Coolidge, out of the colony,
Yep.
what did they say to you?
They said that I would be back before a week's up. That she's mean and stubborn. She's mean and stubborn. I fooled them.
Ann has been back to ATPC several times in her life, but only to visit. Today, it is a special occasion. It's the 50th anniversary of her departure. Ann has brought some of the friends that she's made over the years back to Coolidge to remember and give them an idea of what it was like.
This is where Mary Hornbuckle used to live.
Who did?
Mary Hornbuckle.
Hornbuckle?
Oh, I remember her.
How many people in a room?
There's 14 people
When you were living there?
when I was living there. This was a dormitory, all full of beds. Yep.
Do you think you remember how many beds would have been in here?
Oh, about 28, 48, whatever.
A lot.
Anyway, had some kind of plank across here, and beds here, and beds there, all girls.
In 1967, Ann was allowed to leave the Children's Colony as a new approach was developing in the treatment of people with disabilities, including them as a real member of the community.
And my real mother, this is a friend and me, and this is the lady, Miss Turner, that got me where I am today.
Laura Turner was an early pioneer of the inclusion movement in Arizona. She opened the first home and learning center for people from the Children's Colony and other institutions in 1965.
How long did you live at the Laura Turner homes?
2.5 years.
And what happened after that? How did she help you kind of transition after the Laura Turner homes? Where did you go?
Oh, just got an apartment and lived alone. He asked me if I wanted to move out and be in an apartment by myself, and I said, I love it, I love it, love it. And this is about the 4th place I've lived. Man, I love it here.
As she became more active in the community, Anne worked hard to develop the skills necessary for her independence.
Why do you like to volunteer?
Well, because no one would hire me and let me work or this and that. And then when one time I went to ARC and I was doing some volunteer work, and a man come up behind me one day and said, "You want to work here, make real money, and this and that, and like there?" I said, "Okay." The next day they hired me.
What's been the hardest thing for you?
Hardly anything, except understanding. And I've learned to understand a lot.
And you ask questions when you don't understand.
Yep.
So
So what does that word mean? What does that word mean? You bet. Because one time you said, "Don't feel bad if you don't know what it is. Tell me." Right. So I did. When I went to go to schools, I told the teacher, "Don't be telling the person of disability they can't learn. They can if you try to teach them."
That's something I've admired about you. You ask to learn, and you take it on your own to learn.
Yes. Think of those things when they didn't do me, well, do them. This head taught me.
One of the things I remember you saying is that you wanted to know how to make friends.
Yep.
That was one of your big goals for self-advocacy. And
Yes.
you have been a shining star doing that. That's where I started learning about the capacity that somebody has to really belong and learn and be thriving. And because so many times people with disabilities, their only association is with paid staff people. And friends are something genuinely different. That's a giving and a taking between people. That is because you're both enriched by the relationship.
You extended yourself in friendship to me first, because I was sitting by myself in the congregation since Beth's in the choir, and you were by yourself on the other side. And one day you just said, "Well, I'm going to come over here and sit with you."
Yes.
And we have been sitting together in church for the last, 4 years?
Not only did you learn how to make friends, but you learned how to be a friend. You've been a very good friend to me. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
You can cut that part out. You've been a very good friend to me because you not only learned how to make friends, Ann, but you learned how to be a really good friend.
Yep.
And it's a real gift to be a friend to others. And you learned how to do that because you've got a big heart.
Yep. As I am a cripple, will they say I'm in the way? Hear the children never want me. I'm a bother, they all say. When I go to heaven, Mama, will the angels let me play? Think of good things, let the bad go.